Hello, in this video I'm going to show some example related to relational algebra. So far in the previous videos, operator related to relational algebra have been shown. So now it's time to see example and let's get started with simple one. Here's the students table and here's the question. What are the names of students whose GPA is at least 3.5? That means we have to check the GPA column and we have to show the name column. So from GPA column, we have to find who actually get 3.5 or greater than 3.5. So I can say that N and my got GPA greater than 3.5 or equal 3.5. So I can write the relational algebra in this way. Here in pi, I have written the name column. Question has been written GPA is greater than or equal 3.5. Following this is from the students table, so this has been written here. So this is the output. Here students table and enrollment table. And this is the question. What are the names of students who got an A in any course? That means we have to find the name, student's name, and also check the grade table whether it is A or not. If the grade is A, then we will check who is the ID. But we don't know what is the name from this table. So we have to go to the students table and look up who is the ID, SID 111 and what is the name. So this SID and this SID if equal, then we can get the name, student's name. So from this, I can understood that we have to do the join here, and because only by joining these two tables, the similar column would be checked for equality. So here is the relational algebra in one way. It can be done in some other way. So here condition grade equal to A, column name, and students is and enrollment has been joined because if I write this operator, it actually automatically checks whether the similar columns are equal or not. So this is the output. Can we do this thing in some other way? Yes, but that we have to specify which column would be equal. So this is another way. Here by name sigma critical to A condition and another condition. That means this column and this column should have to be the same. And here is the Cartesian product of these two tables. Now I will go to another example. Here are three tables and here is the question. List names of boards. Very simple. From the board table, so this is the relational algebra. Go to now I would go for another example. Here same tables again, and this is the question. This is another very simple example. List ratings and ages of sailors. That means from the sailor tables I can find the rating and age column. So this is the relational algebra. Okay, now we have to find the names of sailors who are over 21 years old. That means from the sailor table, if I look at the age column, I can say apart from Jorba, who is actually 18 years old, all other sailors are older than 20 and 21 years old. So this is the relational algebra, and here the sigma section, age is greater than 21. List names of breadboards. That means we have to check the boards table and find out the color. This is the condition, breadboards. That means from the column is red. That means we can say that only the interlake. This would be our answer. So this is the very simple another relational algebra. List IDs of boards named interlake. We need only one table and we have to check the condition of name column, whether it is interlake or not. If interlake, then we have to write the ID. Following. List IDs of boards reserved on 10, 10, 12. So this is a date, and from these tables they actually appeared in the reserve table. So I can say that only the SID, boat ID 101, 102 would be appeared as our answer. So this is the relational algebra. List name of sailors who reserved boat 102. Boat 102 reserved. This information is in two tables, reserve and sailors. On the reserve tables, I can say that 102 is the boat ID and the SID is 1 and SID is the name of sailors is from the sailors table I can say Dustin. Again 102 reserved by SID 2 and 2 SID is Rusty. Similarly 102 also has been reserved by the ID 3 and the name is Horatio. In this way, we can find the answer is Dustin, Rusty, and Horatio from these tables. And this is the relational algebra. So I can do it in some other ways. So these are the two ways, and I can also do it using the Kutch product. But in that time, we have to mention the column name condition. However, if the question is list names of sailors who reserve the red interlake, what would be the answer? List names of sailors. So from the sailor table, this name column would be appeared as a output. And reserve the red interlake. That means from the reserved table you have to find out the board name, BID. But we don't know whether it is red or and interlake. So we have to go for boards table, and here we can find that the 102 is the BID, what is which is actually interlake name, whose name is actually interlake, and the color is board. So from the board table, if this condition satisfied, then I would go for the 102 ID in the reserved table. I would go from in the reserved table and check whether it is reserved by any sailors or not. So I can see that 102 is reserved by sailor ID 1 and 2 and 3. So I can say that this ID actually for Dustin, Rusty, and Horatio, and I have to find out these names from the sailors table. So this is really complex, and yeah, I can do it in this way. So we need three tables, and we have to join these, or we have to do the Cartesian product on these tables. So this is the way I'm sure names of boards that were reserved by Horatio. Horatio reserved the board Horatio is the sailor's name, whose ID is 3, and from the reserves table I can see that 3 reserved the board 101 and 102, but we need to find out the board name. So from the board table I can say that 101 is interlake and 102 is also the interlake. Moreover, I can do this algebra in other ways. So you have to practice this. Okay, let's go for another example. Let's day solve with some sailor with rating higher than 7. Well, let's see. And we have to find out the days. So I can find it from the reserves table, and also have to check the sailors with rating higher than 7. That means 7, 10, 8. These rating is greater than higher than 7. That means 10 and 8 only. So from sailor table, I can say that 2 and 4 is our desired sailor's information, and is these 2 and 4 reserved on the day 11, 9, 12, 7, 11, 12, and 19, 9, 12. So these 3 days is the desired answer. So this is the relational algebra. Additionally, I can do this in other way, and you have to do it on your own. Another example, list names and colors of boards that were reserved by Jorba. So Jorba is ID 4, but we don't know from the sailor's table what color of boards he actually reserved, and what is the name of that board. So 4 is Jorba, and he reserved board ID 103. I can say from the reserves table, and from the board table I can say that 103 is the clipper and the color is green. So only the clipper and green would be our answer, and for this relational algebra, for this question, we can write the relational algebra in this way. Again, list IDs of board which is either green or red board. So I can find the green board. We have to find the green board. So list another example. Again, another example. List IDs of board which is either another example. Okay, another clear example. List IDs of board which is either green or red board. We can do it in various ways. But here I am just going to show these using the union operator so that you can get a glimpse of idea how actually union operator works. Here's the relational algebra. At first, from this relational part, at first I can divide this into two parts. At first, from part 1, we will get the ID, board ID, which is actually red color. And from this, I can get the green color board ID. So we know that union finally get and we know that union show all the outputs of two tables. So output would be the red and green both ID. Find sailors who have reserved a red or a green boat. I can do the union. So by this, just check this part. Sigma color equal to red or color equal to green from both. This will give us a result of those rows from the board table whose color is red and green. That means 102 and 103 would be produced from this part. And this part has been given a new name using the row operator tempos. That means now the board names become become the tempos. So if I go to the next part, I have written the pi S name because we have to find out the sailor's information. So I have written here this name, and instead of boards table, I have written the tempos because I have already filtered out the boards table, and from the board tables I have got 102 and 103 rows, and I have already put it into the tempos in the table, and I don't have to write the boards table again. I would write the tempos instead of boards table and all the other tables name, because we have to find out the reserved red or green. That means from the board table we will get the red and green, and from this I also get the 102 and 103. From the reserved tables I got who is reserved 103 and 102, and from the reserved table I can get the SID, and from the sailors table I can get the names of those IDs. So this is the whole process. So if I write it in this way, this is also a plausible answer. This is also a plausible answer. Instead of boards, I have already filtered out the board table and to get the filtered output, and I renamed it as 10 boards. So this is the output of my 10 boards. For here 102 and 103 has been here 102 and 103 would be appeared, and this actually join with reserves and sailors. So this is in this way we can do the rename. We use the rename operator, and another thing I have to mention that this is the one part of the relational algebra, and this is another part. These two parts actually different. So I think you get my point, and this is my last example. And I'm going to show the last example of relational algebra in this video. Find sailors who have reserved. Now, finally, I'm going to show the last example of this video. And here's the question. Find sailors who have reserved a red and green boat. So what here, so the red board's information has been reserved in the template table, and in template green table another green board's information has been reserved, and we just simply do the